Before the Battle of Yavin, and approximately 1 year after the events of Revenge of the Sith and Order 66, Star Wars Maul's Shadow Lord is one of the greatest installments in Star Wars to date. Created and directed by Dave Filoni, with characters and stories based by George Lucas, Matt Michnovetz, and Amanda Rose Munoz. Again, this series is phenomenal. I was lucky and blessed enough by the ever so nice and compassionate people over at Disney Plus and Lucasfilm and all of the above that I was sent the first 8 episodes of this series early. So I got to check this out last week, and there are 2 more episodes coming on May 4th, so I did not get to see those yet. They're not sending those out to anybody. They're leaving it for the fans and critics and everybody to see it all at once, which I can respect and I understand. And based off the ending of this series, or at least episode 8, you know, it makes sense that there would at least be 2 more episodes, because it leaves you on such a like, what is that? That's not it. It can't be it. Like that's what I said when I was done with the 8th episode. So let's get into this series a bit. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. As I said, I was lucky enough to get the first 8 episodes of this sent to me by Disney, and I really enjoyed it, and I saw the episodes numerous times. I mean, you only have about 5 plays on each episode, and I think I got down to 1 play on each of them because I just kept rewatching it because of how beautiful it was. So of course you have Sam Witwer voicing Maul, and I actually met Sam Witwer years ago. I mean like years ago, when this was the pre-tattoo, piercing, and dread era of Robert Carl Reed. That's when I was called Robert Carl Reed. Seriously, I met him a long time ago, and I still wish I had like the photos and stuff, but it was nice to meet him back when I started playing the Star Wars Force Unleashed game, and that's when I first actually saw him voicing and, like, you know, his body capture, and I was like, wow, this is great. Such a cool guy. And at MegaCon this past year, his line was always long. Even when he wasn't there, they were waiting for him. Obviously, you have to line up a little early, and his line never faltered. There's some people, their lines kind of got a little slow. You could walk up and just, you know, say a quick hello to them and whatever. Not Sam Witwer's, bro. Not never, not once, not ever. And rightfully so, because I mean, hello. Chris Diamantopoulos voices Luti Vario, an underworld boss, if you will, but more like a gremlin type character, but kind of part of like an underground syndicate, someone who works with Maul, or I should say, works with Maul. I'm not going to do any spoilers in this because I really want this to come out first and people to truly enjoy it without truly knowing what's coming. I know other channels are probably going to spoil it, and that's fine. I try to do little to no spoilers on my channel unless, you know, it's already been out or something and it's really that big and people really want to hear about it and they ask me about it, so we're going to kind of try to keep this a little bit spoiler free. Dave Filoni, great voice actor. He plays the character Scorn. Dennis Haysbert, what a great actor and voice actor. I knew once I heard his voice in this as a certain character, I'm like, there's no way. I know who this is. Like, I know this guy. Like, I don't really know his name per se, but I know who it is. You know when that happens to you when you're watching something. And I was like, yeah, I know who this is. And as soon as I looked it up, it is exactly who I thought it was. He voices Master Eiko Diodati, and what a great Jedi and great person to incorporate into this story. Gideon Adlon, she voices Deva Nazara, another Jedi that interacts with Maul a little bit and more on throughout the series. Richard Ayoade, he voices the robot Two Boots, and at first Two Boots kind of annoyed me a little bit, but in a geeky, quirky, funny kind of way, and then I grew to love Two Boots, and I think the same thing might happen to you as well. We have Sam Corlett voicing Officer Reb, Steve Bloom voicing Icarus, one of the Dark brothers that is similar to Maul, like from the race of Maul. Charlie Bushnell voices Riley Lawson, who is the son of Brander Lawson, who's voiced by Wagner Moura. And these two characters, once again, they are integral to the story, and the way how this story flows and the characters integrate and interact with each other is actually really beautiful. And I've seen somewhere that somebody said that this is peak Star Wars. And normally I'd be like, you know, that's kind of to say, not that it's not, but there's other things that are very phenomenal within the Star Wars lore and Star Wars stories. But this, I have to somewhat agree that this is kind of really up there within the Star Wars projects for me, man. This was such an enjoyable thing, and the episodes aren't too long. The minute that you are like, oh my god, you're kind of at the edge of your seat, the episode's over, and then you gotta start the next one. Rookcast was voiced by Vanessa Marshall, and man, let me tell you about this Mandalorian character. Like, she is just phenomenal. First of all, very skilled with dual weapons. She's got this black Mandalore armor, and she was also in like season 7 of the Clone Wars, you know, running away from Bo-Katan Kryze. And it's just the way how they incorporate the Clone Wars and other Star Wars projects into into each other is the stuff of just like nerdy Star Wars dreams. I'm very impressed with Dave Filoni with all the stuff that he's really done, but he never ceases to amaze, and he somehow increases the stature and the quality of everything that he does. We also have AJ Locascio, who voices the character Morok, who is an Inquisitor that was also featured in Ahsoka. So we've got a lot of tie-ins here. So the basic synopsis is Maul is trying to build his crime syndicate after he was basically cast out and cast aside by Darth Sidious. So he has a very strong hate for Darth Sidious. And obviously if you're a dark side Force user, hate, anger, sadness, all of that stuff fuels you even more. So Maul is just fueled by not necessarily embarrassment, but just more aggression and revenge and unbridled anger. He goes around, and whoever he's made deals with or people that might have crossed him, he is eliminating them one by one by one with no mercy. However, we do see a different side of Maul here, especially when it comes to certain characters, aka Jedi or Force sensitive people. We do see that Maul is a little bit more holding back and not just kind of decimating any and everyone that he sees. He's actually more targeting the people who are standing in his way or who did him wrong, and the people surrounding who followed their orders, he is taking them out. But I liked this arc with Maul because he showed a different side of him, and I'm not going to say that it was compassionate, but it was smart. It was calculated. It was more so being intellectually prepared for any and every situation. And even so with several characters who might not have been as important to him, but there were characters that were around other people that were important to him for a specific reason, so he still did not touch those characters. And I like that as well, because that means that there's something there. There's a reason why Maul is acting this way with specific characters, especially a Force sensitive one. And we all know why. He wants her to join his army and his empire and the power of two, and he wants to be like the master to this young one, but he senses great power in her, which I also could see as well, that she has great power. He really wants to get this crime syndicate up and going, and he wants to take back his revenge on Sidious and those who did him wrong, and he wants to do it on a planet that hasn't truly been touched by the Empire yet, which is where we are now. So there are some tie-ins from like some stuff from movies, some stuff from the TV shows, and after the whole season is over and it's out, then I'll go more into that, because I would love to dive into that and tell you guys everything like that, the little nods and everything, because I caught them like right away. It was beautiful to see this, and I'm glad that I got the chance to see this early. I'm ever grateful to the people over at Disney and Lucasfilm for providing me with this to see it early, because man, was it a beautiful time. And I'm gonna be watching it as it comes out as well again, because I loved it that much. Anyone who's a Star Wars fan, even 5%, 2%, you're gonna love this series. Even those who say that they're not fans of like animated stuff, I'm sorry, I just can't get behind that, especially if it ties into things from the movies and other shows, and if it's well written and well voice acted and well animated. Look at Star Wars Rebels, the Clone Wars, and I hear the Young Jedi Adventures is really good too, and Star Wars Resistance was good. So I need to get on the Young Jedi Adventures, and the Bad Batch. Oh my god. Great cinema, all of those. There's also a decent amount of like character development within this to a certain degree, and as I said, Maul really impressed me with the way how he was moving, the way how they showed him being a little bit weak, especially when involving the two Inquisitors and these characters that we'll get more into in the next video when everything else comes out. Showing him getting encapsulated in his hate and anger and a little bit of embarrassment, even though, like I said earlier, it's not that he was necessarily embarrassed around other people, but within himself, he feels like, oh, well, what? How could I let this happen? How could this happen to me? You know, we go through that internally. I love that they showed the internal and external struggles within Maul and around Maul. It was just beautifully written. So thank you guys for joining me in this review of the Star Wars Maul Shadow Lord series, at least the first 8 episodes. As I said, May 4th is when the final 2 episodes will be coming out. So after that, I will be doing the video talking about the entire season as a whole from 1 to 10, and going a little bit deeper and talking about some nods that might have been in some of the movies and the TV shows that we've got into this series. You know the drill? Hit that like button, subscribe button, and leave a comment down below. Thanks again for watching, guys. Until the next one.